Hey everybody, welcome to Thistlehawk Homestead. So today they got the camera angle set up a little differently because I need both my hands. So I want to show you. We're doing stuffed spaghetti squash for dinner tonight. So spaghetti squash looks like this. It's round typically, so you're going to see it like this. If you're growing spaghetti squash typically is yellow with a little bit of white. The yellower it gets, the better it is, the more ripe it is. So no problem. So what I do is I take the spaghetti squash, I cut it in half, turn it over on a sheet pan. I sprayed with a little bit of canola oil or soy, just a little Pam, whichever brand you want to use, and I bake it until I can just squeeze into the outside of the shell. Okay, because you still want that squash inside to be firm, because you still need it to separate without turning to mush. Okay, so we'll pull it out, let it rest. Maybe 10 minutes. That way it cools down enough that you can handle it, because it's super hot. You got to remember there's a lot of moisture in there. Okay? So then you take your half, and you're going to take your spoon and work your way around the sides and all the way around. And then when you finally get through, you take it out like that. And that leaves you the inside of the shell like this. And we're going to save these because we're going to put everything back into the shell once we combine everything, okay? So, and then you take these and you just kind of separate, like you're doing a shredded chicken. But all you're doing is you're shredding spaghetti. And literally, it's all it is. The squash shreds just like spaghetti. And I'm finishing this up, and I'm going to give you a picture of it momentarily. It's almost done. I've already done half of it, so we literally have the entire squash here, and literally that's done. It shredded that easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the camera and I'm going to turn it around for a moment. There's our shredded spaghetti squash. Okay, pretty good. Still tender, good to the touch. A lot of people with gluten intolerance, you will use this as a substitute for pasta. It's really light. I like something with a little more heaviness, so we like to add some things to it. So over here we have onions and mushrooms and squash. Now the zucchini I cut down into half-inch cubes, quarter-inch cubes, somewhere in there. I took the seeds out, so I just kind of squared it off and took the outer rind, diced it. Julienne onion cut in half widthwise, and then cremini mushrooms that I sliced. Sauteed down a little olive oil, salt, pepper. That's all we need to put in that, because we don't need garlic, because you have marinara that's going in it. Plus I've got some pesto. We're going to add a little jazz to it. Okay, and then our local market here, if you can see how chunky that is inside the wrapper, or in the skin. That is just a pork sweet Italian sausage that our local market actually makes from scratch. It is so good. It's so rustic. It's just amazing in flavor and texture. So what we're going to do, we're going to combine the sausage with the vegetables, with the spaghetti squash, with marinara, and a little bit of pesto just kind of dolloped on the top. We're going to put it back in the oven, bring it up to a temp, and then serve it. A lot of people put mozzarella on the top and melt the mozz. I just like serving a little side of fresh grated Parmesan. So anyways, this is spaghetti squash our way. You can do a million different things in there if you want. It doesn't have to be Italian. You can do Mexican. You could do Thai. You could do anything in there and put it back in the bowl. You really can. If you look at it as pasta, your world is unlimited. Okay? As it should be. Remember, we're playing with food, not suffering from it. So anyways, have a great day, folks. That's spaghetti squash, Italian style, right from Thistlehawk Homestead.